Well, hello again and welcome to another edition of the Speed Bag. Today, a little segment I like to call, okay fine, I'll bite. Who's the bigger star in the UFC, Ronda Rousey or Conor McGregor? Seems like the question keeps coming up. Maybe it's because you got Ronda Rousey finally returning to fight at UFC 207 in December, but then you also got Conor McGregor fighting for the lightweight strap at UFC 205. And there's UFC President Dana White, who keeps insisting that Rousey is the bigger star. But then, Dana White does have a penchant for saying things that are, what's when something's not true, but the opposite of that? But then how do you go about measuring something like stardom, which is kind of an ephemeral quality to begin with? And what, am I supposed to go out on the street and ask passersby if they've heard of Rousey or McGregor? Because I'm going to tell you right now, that sounds like it might involve talking to actual human people. So you know I'm not about to do that. How about pay-per-view buys? You go back, you look at McGregor's last fight at UFC 202, that one did a reported 1.65 million pay-per-view buys. Now, if that's true, that beats Rousey's last fight by about 500,000. In fact, if you go back and you look at their last 3 fights head-to-head and compare their pay-per-view buys added all together, McGregor comes out way ahead with 4.45 million pay-per-view buys, give or take, compared to Rousey's 2.6 million pay-per-view buys. But then maybe you argue that pay-per-view buys aren't the only way of measuring this stuff. You could, in fact, argue that Rousey is the fighter who reaches further into mainstream culture, attracting more non-fight fans every time she steps in the cage. I mean, can you really imagine Conor McGregor showing up on Ellen or on the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue? I mean, do you want to? Maybe that's why Rousey beats McGregor on pretty much every social media platform. I mean, she has almost 3 times as many likes on Facebook. I'm sorry, just even uttering that sentence aloud made me hate myself a little bit. But come on, we all know there's only one metric that really matters. And it's how many YouTube views you got after appearing on Conan O'Brien. You remember when Rousey went on in 2012 to talk about how much sex she likes to have before fights?
If you have sex, it raises your testosterone. So it kind of sucks I don't have a boyfriend right now.
Yeah, I mean, that is content that is the internet's dream right there. And boom, 4.5 million views. But then Conor McGregor went on in 2015 to play against Conan in the UFC video game, a very different kind of internet dream content, and he got 4.6 million views. Of course, for context, I should point out that when an aging Jean-Claude Van Damme went on to recreate his sexy kickboxer dance scene, that got like 18.2 million views. But that's, I mean, come on, how are you gonna beat that? So what did we learn here today, other than the fact that Van Damme still got it? Basically that if you care about selling pay-per-views, and the UFC, last I checked, really does, then McGregor is by far the biggest star. Like, kinda ever in the history of MMA. But if you want someone who can play Luna in Expendables 3, then turn right around and play Kara in Furious 7, all while chopping it up with Ellen in between, then Rousey's your best bet. Although, maybe it's just knowing the UFC the way I do, something tells me that the people over there, they prefer the one that makes them all the money.